Hello, this is Pixel Demon here with a new deck profile, and this is my pendulum Zark deck. I believe this is one of the best decks in the format right now. If you include Zoo, it's one of the top decks. So let me show you off here. So we're going to start off with spells and traps. Well, the two ofs in the deck. So you run 2 pendulum graph. Now this deck, now I believe by now you already know what this card does. It's one of the best cards in the game. And straight up, this wins you games sometimes, because you stop your opponent from establishing board presences and all other kinds of stuff. And then you wear 2 terraformings for your 2 Skyrises, because you do run odd eyes in this deck, because you do have a couple rank 7s that you run just to, like, for utility purposes and stuff, and extra targets for Zark. And one of the most ridiculous card that Konami's released, and that is Kieran. Because, you know, giving us a Kieran that we can search and then pendulum someone out too, that means they force their resources. They have to force they want to negate stuff. They have to send stuff to grave, which is really bad to Zoo, because if you hit their Tridents or their Broad Bulls, it really hurts them. So, continuing, what makes this deck good when you don't have particularly a lot of outs to the people's back row. So you run this. So basically what happens, this thing gets destroyed by battle or card effect. You can special summon a dark spellcaster from your graveyard. So you could literally, and it's not once per turn. Yeah, it's not once per turn. The destruction effect. So say you destroy this, and then you pendulum someone out, and then it gets striked. You can special summon 2 monsters out. First from the one when you first destroy it by having opponent's monsters attack. And then secondly, when it gets destroyed. So this thing's pretty good. It makes strike a little bit less of opponent threat to us. Now to the main damager of the deck, and the main, not particularly the focus, but just like an extra beat stick, and it helps get over things, big beat sticks, and helps do a lot of damage. The OTK potential in this deck is Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. You run 2 of those. Now on to the 3 ofs. You run 3 Duelist Alliance, because searching your searchers that can also search your time graphs, and I mean this is like the most broken card in the deck, because you can literally just say, oh, guess what, I want to activate this, search everything, just search anything, it don't matter. Then the best monster in the deck besides Wisdom Eye, in my personal opinion, this guy right here. Now this guy's broken because, one, he's in it when something gets destroyed on your field. So what if if you time graph something and you destroy your stuff, you can special this, search for the monster that you just lost. So you basically almost go +1. So you just basically break even, and then you have a monster on the field. It's pretty ridiculous how this is out. And then there's actually there's a dark version of this, which is weird. Like, it's basically the same card. It's just that the attack and defense values are switched, which is weird. I guess they just wanted another way to spam Zark, so that's the thing. And then 3 of the way to search your spells and traps besides Duelist Alliance, and that is Double Iris Magician. This card is really good because you can activate it on the first turn, set up your back row. Basically have like a Omega, a Time Star, and maybe another, like just like a wall, like a Poison Magician or whatever. It really helps this deck search everything, set up first turns. You can basically half the deck searches it, like I said. Now onto the Stratus of the deck, the only really normal summon card you really want to make, and that's the Skullcrobat Joker. Run 3 of that. So you basically search anything in your deck, because why not? The only thing you can't search is Duelist Alliance and the spell cards that you have in your deck, which is not really big of a problem since most of your deck is monsters. Now to the Trident of the deck. Now it's a big booty for its level. It's Purple Poison Magician. Now when this thing is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can pop a card on your opponent's field, which is really ridiculous because you can just spam these things out with Wisdom Eye. And plus you can use it during battle. Say they have like a Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and like some other card or whatever. You can attack into you can say you have your Time Star guy, you activate this guy's effect, targeting this thing gets 1200 attack. So basically, and then once thing like before the attack resolves, before you the attack's completed, this card would its effect would resolve. So it would pop a card, so you would pop the Tyrant and then run over whatever else presence they would have, like a Logia or Lithogasm, whatever, which is pretty good. And then you have one card XZs or one card Synchro in the deck, because, you know, having an ability to summon from any type of the deck basically says F you to T-Barrier, except if they call pendulums, then you're kind of screwed, but oh well. It's a good card. Basically, you special summon another magician with his effects negated and placed in the defense position. And it's a pretty good card. I wish it would say that you could Synchro summon with any other card in the game, but no, this has to be magicians. Now, 3 of the best card in the deck, which is Wisdom Eye. Basically, you know the combo with double Wisdom Eye. Basically, it's a +1. You can gain a ton of advantage off of it. And since this thing's at 3, it really makes this deck viable for links, because you can get your hand set up with Oath Dragon and all that kind of stuff, and it's really not that hard to make good level plays. Now onto the hand traps of the deck that I run. So 2 Ash Blossom and a Max C, because these things are necessary. I was thinking about cutting the Ash Blossoms, put them in the side deck and main Ghost Ogres. But since a lot of people are expecting that, I decided to keep them in my deck. Plus they're really beautiful and they actually have a good effect. For the 1-ofs of the deck, you run this because it's necessary in order to have double Omega or be able to use it with the Zark. I mean, able to special summon Zark, because you need this. And plus its effect, it's basically a protection, so you can actually put it in. It's actually not that bad. Then I considered cutting these, but their effects are kind of utility wise. Like you say, you have a Wisdom Eye or something like that, and you need to get over a big monster for an unknown back row that you're kind of scared to attack into or summon into. The Dragon Magicians, they're pretty good. Now, and then for the rest of it, I'll put a Pendulum Call. Like, it really doesn't really do that good. I mean, yes, it searches scales, like, hey, and protects your scales, but that stops you from popping your own scales in order to get effects. Now, from the other 1-ofs, you want one of this guy. Now, I might bump this up to 2 and take out the Searcher of the Deck Pendulum Call, because this card's really good. And only have one of them is kind of like a lacking in resources and everything. So it's okay. And then you have Oath Dragon, which adds stuff back to your hand. You can special summon it and add stuff from your grave. So basically it fills up your hand for the Pendulum Summon. Also, hopefully this deck, hopefully GoFu does not get hit to 1. Because if it does, that means a lot of stuff is going to go bad for this deck, because it's kind of hard to summon stuff. But it's not saying it's impossible. It's just saying it's not ideal kind of deck. The new Link summoning mechanics really hurt this deck. But this card right here helps it out. Doesn't knock it down to tier 3 status or tier 2. So for the extra deck, and of course the one Zark, because you can summon him. And he's a big, say you're in a late game against a zoo, like they can constantly gain advantage. You say you have all your stuff in your hand and everything. You have kind of like a board, you banish one of your astrographs. And special summon, it's a blowout card. It just if you summon this, you win basically. So they can't destroy it with strike. So they basically have a 4K beat stick that cannot get ran over, and it cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects, which is great. So you have like stealing your bitch stuff, because big eye is big eye. You run 6 level 7 searchable targets for being able to make this, and plus it's easy to get over, like Crystal Wing. I bait it out and then take it. I did this against a invoked player, like forced their negate with like basically I overlaid made a I forgot what exactly I made. I made something that would destroy his back row, and he took the bait, and so he negated that. So I went, okay, pendulum summon out to Stargraph, and Odd Eyes made this and took that card and won the game since it's a negate and everything. The main start of the deck basically makes your trap card at +2, so it's retarded. Not the best things in the game. Then the Utopia package, Castell, Evil Swarm. Now, the reason why I like this card is because, especially in late game when everybody's top decking and everything, since the Pendulum Summon is such a viable, since we have the Pendulum Summon access, we can easily make rank 4s. So I add this, make this, and then they have to get over a 2750 beat stick that not nags a card out of their hand every turn. I did this multiple times, and it kind of won me the game a couple times because they had such little resources in their hand to do anything with. Now you got the one Bisc Driller for, since this thing's good again because of Dinos, because I hate that matchup because of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Hate that son of a gun. Then the Searcher, another search, just search a pendulum card, because sometimes you can't make the most awesomest boards, and you just need to be able to defend your life points and able to make a wall a little bit. And then for the synchros, the one Omega, because it's Omega, take it, nabbing the card out of someone's hands pretty good. And then Ignister, which is a great card. I love this card. I don't know why they ever made this card. And this is quite relevant because you can, if you summon this, you can get back your time graphs, which have been, your time graph that's been destroyed or whatever. So I used this one time, gained back that, activated it, and then, proceeded to win the duel because of that. Now, this is really useless. This is a placeholder for something. I don't know why I have it in my deck, but it's just I don't believe I can summon it. No, it can't. But it's an okay card. I mean, I might be able to get it out sometime. And then for my favorite card for OTKs, because I really like going second OTK, it's just the way my playstyle is, and it's this right here. So you attack a monster, attack an opponent's monster, it gets destroyed. It automatically, I don't care if your opponent has an effect that specials it back, whatever. As long as it destroys and sends to the grave, this card has your opponent's life points, and you take the damage that's involved this card, which is ridiculous because you can just completely wreck people. Now this is it for my extra deck, and for my side, board wipes, because Zoo is still a thing. It's just extra stuff, and then Kaiju Engine with extra stuff. Say if I'm going first, I would run this. Second, I'll go this. Alright, thanks for watching. This is Pixel Demon, signing out.